Right, question 13. So Steph's a baker. She bakes 42 white rolls, 60 brown rolls. Write the ratio of white rolls to brown rolls in its simplest form. Now, if you want help with this again, video 269 is on this on Corbett Maths. So the important part of this question are the 42 white rolls, 60 brown rolls, and also I want it written as a ratio. I want it in its simplest form. That is really important. So to write down the initial ratio, we just use the numbers given in the question, 42 to 60. White rolls, 42 to brown rolls, 60. So whenever you see that in terms of ratio, that's those two little dots, that's 42 to 60. Okay. So what we now need to deal with is this. We need to get it in its simplest form. Now, a lot of students at this stage like to kind of half it. So we'll do it the long way. The easy way here, the quick way, is to spot that both of these things are multiples of 6 and divide both of them by 6. But let's do it how a lot of students will do it and divide them by 2. So if we do that, 42 divided by 2 will turn into 21. And 60 divided by 2 will turn into 30. Now, a lot of students will leave that there, but that is not in its simplest form. Can you spot which times table 21 and 30 both appear in? They're both in the 3s, so we can divide them now by 3. So that one was divided by 2. We're now going to divide them both by 3. 21 divided by 3 is 7. 30 divided by 3 is 10. And we cannot simplify them now. 7 is a prime number. So the only thing 7 can be divided by is itself 1, and 7 will not go into 10. So that is the final answer. Okay. Notice there, dividing by 2, dividing by 3, we could have just divided by 6 at the start. 60 divided by 6 will get me straight to 10. 42 divided by 6 will get me straight to 7 and skip out the middle of it. Okay, so that's part A. Right, part B is a more kind of complex ratio sharing question. Now, there's tons of different things that you could be asked to do with ratio. These normally pop up somewhere. 270, 271A, and the exercise on 271E on Corbett Maths. If you're stuck with any of this stuff, you have to be able to do ratio. There is normally at least about a quarter of the marks on the foundation paper, and maybe about between, say, 10% and 20%, which would be enough to pass the higher paper, will be on ratio. You have to be able to do it. Okay, so let's start breaking this down. Steph makes scones in 3 flavours: cheese, fruit, and plain. She makes 4 times as many fruit scones as cheese scones, and 3 times as many plain scones as cheese scones. She sells each scone for the same price. That's very important. So these 2 things are important. And she makes a total of £96. How much does she make from the sale of the plain ones? So this is a ratio sharing question, and you can use blocks with this. I know an awful lot of you will have done that in class. The problem with this question is that it's not obvious what the diagram should look like straight away. So we have to kind of process these 2 bullet points into a diagram to be able to use the diagram to solve the problem. And that's what makes this quite tricky. It's quite a lot of work, I think, this for 3 marks, but there we go. So if she's making 4 times as many fruit ones as cheese ones and 3 times as many plain ones as cheese ones, it means that she's making the least number of cheese scones. So let's use the cheese scones as having 1 block. That's cheese. That means there would be 4 times as many fruit ones. So that means we can draw 4 blocks for fruit. 1, 2, 3, 4. And in terms of the plain ones, 3 times as many plain ones as cheese ones. Well, cheese ones is 1 block, so that's 3 times that. That's going to be 3 blocks, isn't it? So there's my diagram. Okay. And notice when I've seen this question done wrong before, people just do the 4 and the 3. They forget that you've got the cheese ones there that are worth 1 block effectively. From here, we can now share out the total. If we have a total of £96, we can share that between each of these blocks because we know that each scone was the same price. So let's count up how many blocks we've got in total and share our total number of pounds by that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we can do that £96 divided by 8, which is 12. So it means that 12 will go in each block. Okay, so we're now being asked, how much does she make from the sale of the plain scones? Well, plain scones is down here, it's these ones. So 12 or 12 or 12, that is £36. Okay, very expensive scones. Right, part C. Now this one changes a little bit. Again, they like to do this, they're giving you two ratio questions there and there. This one is now a percentage question. And you can look at this in terms of, look at this on video 238 on Core with Maths. Steph makes and sells birthday cakes. Each cake costs £54 to make. So what that means is, when she has to buy her flour and her eggs and her rice and whatever else, she has to spend £54 to make one birthday cake. She makes a profit of 15% on each cake. What is the selling price? So the selling price will be £54 plus the 15%. Okay, don't need to write this down, I'm just writing it down to kind of explain what we're going to do. So what we need to do is figure out what 15% of 54 is, add that on, and then that must be the selling price. So to get 15%, we're going to work out 10%, we're going to work out 5%, and then we're going to add them together to get our 15%. So 10% of £54 will be £5.40. 5% will be half of this. So half of 54 will be 27. So that'll be £2.70. So then we're going to add these together. 0 add 0 is nothing. 4 add 7 is 11. 5 add 2 add 1 is 8. So that's £8.10 is the 15%. So what we then need to do is 54 add £8.10. Oops. Which will give me £62.10p. Okay, so it's processing that sentence really. Once you know that you need to figure out 15% and add it on, that's quite an easy question, but it's getting to know that part. And again, that's why we need to get you used to sort of using these, using the information that you're given in the questions here, because once you are used to this, I know this might look tricky at the start, the first time you're seeing it, but once you are used to looking out for things like that, you will know what to do. Right, let's have a quick look at the mark scheme then, see where the mark's coming from. So, right, part A, 7 to 10 is B2, that's worth 2 marks. Right, B1, for any simplified ratio not in its simplest form. So notice there, you wouldn't get any marks for just writing down the 42 and the 60. You must have simplified it some way. Would get you 1 mark. Okay. Part B. So the fact that we've written an 8 somewhere, that we know there are 8 sort of blocks involved in this, that gives us 1 mark. Okay. And then sharing the 96 by 8 and then timing it by 3. So basically getting the 12 and sort of counting that 12 up is the second method mark, and then getting the 36 is your accuracy mark. And notice again, correct answer only. Okay, right, this part here, follow through for this bit. So where we've done that, what that's saying is, if they get this first bit wrong, so as I said before, what I've seen is people forgetting the 1. So they're using that as a 7. So people trying to do 96 divided by 7 times 3. If you wrote that down, you would still get that method mark there. Okay, but you would then obviously lose the accuracy mark. Right, and part C. So you've got a method mark for doing 54, adding on the percentage. This is what we've done there, isn't it? That's 54 divided by 10. We've written that as our 10% there. And then 54 divided by 10 divided by 2, that's £2.70 or equivalent. So something like this would be fine. Okay. Or over here, you've got e.g. 54 plus £5.40 plus £2.70, and that's the same thing. So our £62.10. Where are we? £62.10 is what we've ended up with there. Okay. So that's question, what's that, 13 done.